Welcome to the Plant-Based Fitness Show, where we talk to fitness enthusiasts about how they stay active and fit and fuel their bodies with plants. Today, I am with my first guest, Julia Sana, and we're going to be talking all about how she fuels her body with plants. How are you doing today, Julia?
I'm doing good. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm like, yeah, I've got my first guest. And I actually know Julia. Julia does not even live in the same country as me. We are completely like different time zones right now, but we were able to make this work, which is the cool and the beauty of online. But I know Julia from online. Actually, I met her in a business group and we met in person, like what, a couple months ago, which is kind
A
of cool.
couple of weeks ago, right?
I know,
Actually,
a month or a week. Yeah, that goes by.
a couple of weeks.
An internet friend became someone that you met in person, which was really cool because when you have people that are eating the same and kind of that same lifestyle, it's really cool to connect with them in person. So I was excited.
Yeah.
But let's jump into it with Julia. And Julia, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started eating this plant-based diet?
Yeah, for sure. It all started when I was traveling and I was working in a yoga center, and there they pretty much only served vegan food. Sometimes they had some cheese, but yeah, I felt really great. I kind of was forced to eat that way, but then when I was there, I fell in love with it like right away because I feel like when you remove animal products from your diet, you feel so much lighter, you feel so much more energized, and also emotionally, you're no longer absorbing all the suffering from the animals. So I could really feel there was something to it. And then I started researching and watching documentaries, Dominion, Cowspiracy, What the Health, and yeah, fell in love with veganism as well. So that's kind of how I discovered it. And then from there I went on and exploring further into not just viewing it from the environmental and ethical side, but also from the health side.
How long have you been eating this way?
So 2019 was when I was at that yoga center, but I will say, in the beginning for me it was quite challenging, so I would go back and forth a little bit in the very beginning between, eating some cheese here and there and then, vegetarian, vegan. But then like 3 years ago, 3.5, I went all in and yeah, don't look
Nice.
back ever since.
Awesome, awesome. Can you walk us through a typical day of eating for you? What does kind of your meals look like? What do your snacks look like? What is that?
Yeah, I usually like to have like three bigger meals. I don't usually snack as much. And usually I start my day with like melon, especially now in the summertime. In the winter, sometimes it's looking a little bit different, but whenever I can, a honeydew melon is my favorite or watermelon. And then I really just eat as much melon as like I feel like I'm not completely stuffed at the end of the meal, but just so that I'm fueled up. And then I like to go into my day, either do some content creation or some fitness or whatever else I've got going on that day. And then around lunchtime, I have like a banana smoothie with ripe bananas and raspberries, frozen ones, or frozen strawberries. That's usually my lunch. And then for dinner, it's either like more fruit and a salad, or sometimes I'm having like a high carb cooked meal, like with sweet potatoes, or quinoa, buckwheat, rice, and vegetables. So, kind of like something more grounding, usually in the evening time. So, that's how it's currently looking for me. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Very, very similar to how I eat as well. And
Nice.
what are your go-to pre and post workout snacks? Like, what do you do before and after your workout, or do you do anything special?
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes I like to get up really early and I don't feel like eating. I'll do half an hour of biking in the morning without eating anything. More often than not, I'll have some melon and then I'll work for 1 or 2 hours. When I'm done with working, I'll go out for a run or a bike ride. Then afterwards, I always like to have a banana smoothie. First, some water or some lemon water. And then once I've hydrated and taken a shower, then I have like a really nice filling banana smoothie.
Nice.
So
I
yeah.
know those thick banana smoothies, those definitely hit the spot.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know you kind of briefly mentioned it a little bit, but what challenges did you face when you were transitioning to the diet, especially kind of concerning fitness?
I was traveling in Southeast Asia, and there it was quite easy for me to eat like a vegan diet, or like, also mainly raw vegan with lots of fruits, because in the tropics, the fruits are so good. And then when I came back to Germany, I had a really hard time picking and finding good fruits and knowing how to make this lifestyle sustainable here. And I think I was also under eating a little bit back then, like not really getting in enough calories. So then at nighttime, I would often have a lot of strong cravings for like junk food. I tried my best to keep it vegan, but that was kind of the period where I was slipping up a little bit. And yeah, I think like my biggest challenge was to know how much I had to eat to feel satiated, which then, led to me craving, and like I had like a history of a lot of binge eating and stuff like that. So that was definitely going on in the very beginning, but eventually I found Freely the Banana Girl, and she really helped me to understand the importance of like being consistent with your meals, not just eating whenever you feel like it, but to have somewhat of a routine and not do all this crazy intermittent fasting and one meal a day, which I all tried, and different fasts and juice cleanses. I think there is a time and place for all of that stuff, but I think I was overdoing it in the beginning, which led to all of that. So eventually I started to just be very consistent with my meals and with always carving up, and then slowly and gradually just the craving subsided. And now when I'm sitting on a table with other people eating junk, I don't even want it because I'm so excited about the food that I have.
I think under eating is something a lot of people struggle with at the beginning because it's hard to know how much to eat with this different lifestyle. And the fruit, you're not used to eating so much, but you don't eat enough. It's something a lot of people struggle with, I think. I want to get into some of the myths, though, about plant-based eating and fitness. So, what are some myths that you can help debunk people for plant-based eating and fitness?
I think first of all important to mention, it's just my own experience, my own opinion. I'm no guru. I don't have the truth. But for me personally, I used to believe that I cannot eat a vegan diet because it's going to be lacking protein, many important nutrients and stuff like that. And that was holding me back for a long time to actually even make the step to go vegetarian. So I was playing a lot with the thought, I want to go vegetarian. And then whenever I was thinking about it, I'm like, nah, it's not going to have enough protein. But then when I actually started talking with other people who have been doing this lifestyle, I met other people who were eating plant-based or vegan, and then I started researching and realized there's nothing you need to be worried about, because what we really need is amino acids, and those are found abundantly in fruits and vegetables, but even all sorts of plants. So yeah, that I think that was a big one, the protein, and then that there would be some type of nutrients that I maybe wouldn't be able to get. But again, like plants, especially fruits and vegetables, are the most nutrient dense source of calories we can have. So it makes only sense that there's nothing to worry about when we're eating such a nutrient dense diet versus when you eat a lot of bread.
It's so true. It's interesting because I'm like, I'll eat a meal that's 100% like fruits and vegetables and all these nutrients, and then I see somebody just eating a burger. I'm like, there's no way that burger is more nutritious than all of this food, you know?
Yeah, I have actually a funny story about that. So there was one time where I was like at a flat share, we were hanging out, and I was making my banana smoothie, and then there was another girl sitting watching me make the smoothie, and she was eating like a noodle soup out of like a plastic bag that has been sitting in that bag probably for many months, which is fine. I respect everyone's food choices, and I think if you crave noodle soup, I think you should have it. She was asking me, are you not concerned that like the nutrients and minerals are no longer as dense in the fruits and vegetables nowadays as they were a couple years ago or like many hundred years ago? And that is actually another myth that I found out later on. That's been like something that has been really pushed by the supplement industry so that they can sell their supplements. And then I was just smiling because I was like, that noodle soup is probably, I didn't say anything, but inside I was just laughing a lot because, like, the noodle soup is obviously
Yeah, there's
even
no way.
less nutrient
It's not
dense.
even real food. You can't even pronounce the ingredients on the label. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting of what we think about as food and what's not food. And when we go to this diet, people just assume that we're not eating right because we're not eating how everybody else eats, you know? Like, yeah. So last question is, what advice would you give to someone who's kind of hesitant about going plant-based not sure about if it's going to affect their fitness or their energy, and like what advice would you give them?
I would just say go for it, try it out, and you can always go back to where you were before. But I'm pretty sure you probably won't because you'll feel so good, especially emotionally and mentally, because you're no longer absorbing all the suffering of the animals that are slaughtered before they die, or even, the cows that produce the milk. Like your mental health is gonna improve so much. So
That's my advice too. I think just do it and try it and go for it and do a week challenge, do a 30-day challenge, do a year challenge. Just try it and see how you do because you're not going to get worse health, I don't believe. So
nowadays there's so much information online about how to do this successfully. So if you find like good mentors or people even just on YouTube who can show you what they do and you just mirror what they're doing, of course find someone who resonates with you, who has the results you want, then it's very easy because, yeah, like 10, 20 years ago, there weren't as many people actually sharing about this online. So I think it's a really good time right now because a good opportunity.
and just with the rise of social media and people using it more and more, it's so easy to get this information and share the information. So it's so easy to do it now. You have no
Yeah,
excuses.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So I want to talk about the plant-based bundle a little bit. Both you and I are in the plant-based bundle and we both have offers in there. Can you talk about your books in the plant-based bundle and what people can find from you in there?
Yeah, for sure. I have the main offer I have, which I've been working on for the past half a year, is the Beachbody Bliss e-course. So it's like a 7-day course or challenge where you get a video every day. And yeah, it's gonna help you to get that beach buddy. I know the beach season has already started, but it's not too late. It's not too late to still shape up a little bit. And then I have a cookbook, like with some recipes, my favorite recipes, but yeah, the course is the main thing, so I'm really excited about that. What about you? What kind of resources do you have?
It's brand new. I've never released it, so you can only get it in the plant-based bundle. It's the only place to find it. But it's basically my raw fitness, like the 6-week challenge I did, but I took it and just gave you a week of it. So you're getting like a sneak peek week of my raw food and fitness challenge. So you get recipes and workouts and all the good stuff.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah,
That's
workout inspiration is always nice.
It's funny too, you say it's summer. I'm in Southern California. Summer really just started. We got 4 or 5 more months, so you can work on that summer body, that beach body now, 100%.
Now is the best time to get in shape because there's so much amazing high water content fruits. If you want to slim down and release excess body fat, the best food you can eat is melon, papaya, mangoes. All these foods are at their peak season right now. There couldn't be a better time to shed fat than right now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm loving the cantaloupes and the seeded watermelon. I'm finding it so good, so good.
Yeah, the cantaloupes in California are so good. I was eating a lot of them
Yeah,
and
they're
they
the
were just
Tuscan melons is what we get out
consistent.
here. Do you guys get the Tuscan melons? Those are the best. They're like the sweet cantaloupes. Those are my favorite.
No, I haven't had those. But when I was in California, I remember like no matter which supermarket I went to, I always found amazing cantaloupe melons, which are a bit harder to find here in Germany. The honeydew melons are really good, so that's what I'm going for when I'm here, and I
Nice.
love them.
Yeah. Oh, they're perfect.
Yeah.
And I didn't know they had so much protein in them. Like I'm like, melons actually have a decent amount of protein in them. So it's
And a lot of sodium too, which if you are working out a lot and sweating, it's important to get that sodium in for sure. And if you get it from fruits and plants, then your body's not going to retain all that water from the salt. So melons are really good, yeah, for the
yeah,
summer.
you're making me want to eat a melon after. All right, Julia. Well, where can people find you if they want to learn more about you or follow you? Where can they find you?
Yeah, I'm most active on YouTube at the moment. So just Julia Sana, if you search that, then you'll find me. And yeah, I upload consistently, sharing my advice, doing entertaining reaction videos as well. And yeah, so that's the main place.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope you guys learned something. And don't forget to fuel your body with plants. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for having me. Bye.